Good evening and namaste, everyone. This is Stretch Yourself with me, Renee, your yoga teacher for this evening. Um, have all your goodies ready if you have a block or a blanket or eye pillow. Of course, your mat's out, hopefully. Maybe you even got some music in the background there to help set the mood, or some incense burning, whatever it is that brings you calm and peace. And then join me on your mat in a seated, comfortable position. Perhaps you have support underneath your bottom to help your hips roll forward a little bit and help you get that nice neutral spine. And maybe root your sits bones a little bit, press them into the mat. Maybe you close your eyes. Allow your hips to relax, your legs to relax. Lift your heart, your chest points. Roll your shoulders. Let this be organic, this movement, a movement to free up a little bit of tension. And then lift your shoulders up and allow them to glide back and down. And finally, press up through the crown of your head. Your hands can relax on your legs. The palms can be down, or you can even have your palms up in a way that is inviting, receiving. And take some time to tap into your breathing. Following the thread of your breath, your inhales and exhales. Spontaneous, natural breath requires no effort, no thought. When we tap into our breathing, we come to this moment. In this moment, all is well. Many of these present moments that we dwell in, nothing is wrong. Let go of any worries, anything on your to-do list. And allow it to float away, knowing that you can come back to all those thoughts and issues and problems. You can come back to those later. And begin to gradually deepen your breath, all the focus on your breath to begin with. Bringing in your yogi belly breathing. We inhale through our nose and we fill our belly with the air. The air naturally rises, and on our exhale, we pull the belly button in and we press out all the air. Dirga breath. Simple, focused breathing. Your pace. Inhale deeply, send the breath to your belly. On your exhales, pull the belly button in as if attached to a string to your spine. Press out all the air. Create space for the next deep breath. And if you'd like to add ocean breath, ocean sounding breath to these deep belly breaths, slightly close your throat on your inhales and or your exhales, creating the sound of an ocean wave. Deep belly breaths are the heart and foundation of our practice. And our ocean breath complements all of our work here, giving our mind a task and calming us. Allow these deep breaths to follow you and accompany you through your practice. Any challenges that arise, whether they're in the physical realm or whether they're in the realm of the mind and emotions, focus on the breath. Become fully present. This is the true essence of yoga. Slowly bring your hands to your heart in a gesture we call Anjali Mudra. Inhale your hands up along the midline of your body and reach toward the sky. Keeping your heart lifted and your sits bones rooted and grounded. And take some deep breaths here. Relax your shoulders. Release your hands from each other and then bend your elbows, opening your fingers nice and wide. Press your shoulder blades towards your waist. And with your next exhale, let it go with a sounding exhale, opening your mouth, exhaling through your mouth. Releasing tension. And then open your arms out to a T, palms up toward the sky. And again, another sounding breath through the mouth on your exhale. And then allow your hands to come down. And then gently release your legs out in front of you, coming into staff pose. Wiggling your toes, opening the toes wide and flexing them. Maybe there's some pops. That's okay. Those pops encourage fresh fluid to flow into the joints. Bend your knees a little bit, straighten them. Start to bring a little bit of movement here. And then bend your right knee and bring the sole of your right foot toward your inner left thigh. Take a look at your outstretched left leg and make sure that your knees are toward the sky and your toes are toward the sky. And maybe even push away to lengthen with your left heel. Inhale your arms up and root your sits bones. And then hinging from your hips, fold forward into Maha Mudra. And as you feel that sensation coming to your hamstrings, bring your hands down and allow yourself to adjust to the stretch. Allow the stretch to organically evolve. And don't drop your head or roll over if you're not very deep into this. Keep your spine in alignment, no curling of the spine. And set your mind and awareness on where you feel the stretch and how it evolves for you. And if you are deeply into the pose, you can certainly drop your head. Three more breaths here. I'm going to shift positions. You stay where you're at. There we go. And as you come out, you can walk your hands or you can reach and come out the way that you came in. And then bring your right hand behind your right hip. Press into the mat and lift your hips up, reaching your left arm toward the sky, keeping your neck in line, not allowing your head to drop back, pressing through the crown of your head, opening your heart. Maybe your outstretched arm leans back a little bit or up a little bit along your ear. Breathe and let your chest and hips open. 2 more breaths. If it's too much for your knees, you can stay seated. That's okay too. And as your second exhale arrives, lower yourself down. And I'm going to switch again. And again, straighten the legs out. Maybe you point and flex a little more vigorously now with your toes and make even bigger circles. And feel your sits bones equally rooted into the mat. And then bend your left knee. Bring the sole of your left foot toward the right thigh. Check your alignment. Make sure the right knee is toward the sky as well as the toes, and that your bent knee is as relaxed as possible. Centering yourself in front here, hinging from the hips, fold forward here. And when you feel the sensation along the back of the leg, maybe in the heart of the hamstring, maybe into the calf a little bit, bring your hands down. And again, just let nature take its course. Let the needs of your body lead you. Follow your breath. Your breath is the barometer for your practice. When it's smoothly flowing, you're going to get the most from your practice. And if you are deep into the pose, you can certainly drop your head and curl over. But if you're not deep, keep your spine in alignment to protect it and get the most out of the stretch. Follow your breathing in and out. 3 more breaths here. And coming out, you can walk your hands towards you or reach out and come up and out the way you came in. Bring your left hand behind your left hip. You can remain here and open up your heart. If coming up on your left knee isn't a good idea for you, that's fine. If you are going to come up, you can press the left hand in the mat. And again, reach your right arm toward the sky. Watch the alignment of your neck, not collapsing and not allowing the head to tilt back, but you can certainly open up your heart or bring the right arm along the right ear. And breathe. You can even press your left shin into the mat. Notice where you feel this. Enjoy every sensation. Two more breaths. And then lowering yourself down. Hopefully starting to feel some good sensations through the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, maybe even the back. And then bring the soles of the feet toward you for our Baddha Konasana, our seated forward fold, also known as butterfly. And again, find the sits bones. And using those chest points, and to find your chest points, you reach your arms out to a T, bring your thumbs in. These are your chest points. Sometimes we'll say lift your heart, but more technically, we're lifting from those 2 points. Lift and fold forward. Spine in alignment, following your body. When you begin to feel the stretch to the groin, maybe the spine, you can drop your head if appropriate for you, or keep the spine in alignment if you have any lower back issues. And release. Release to the breath. Release to the shape. Three more breaths, letting go more and more with each exhale. And when your third exhale arrives, lengthen and come out. And release the legs again. Now we're going to come into a pose called reverse table. And so we want our wrists under our shoulders, our feet about 6 inches away from our buttocks, our knees bent to begin with. We're going to lift our hips and buttocks up, coming into this opposite of table, and we're going to hold there. You can come in and out if there's some strain. Your fingers can be like mine toward the body, which is I prefer, but some people prefer the fingers away from the body. Press your hands into the mat, press your feet into the mat, and lift up as high as you can. Focus on your feet to begin with to make sure that they're nice and rooted. Lift the hips, keep the heart open. The neck in line with the body, not allowing the head to drift back. 2 more breaths. Feel the heat. Feel the tapas that's generated. Maybe there's even a little bit of a shake. Second exhale, we come down. And then come all the way onto your back. Just glide on down. Bring your knees towards your chest and rock back and forth. In Panasana, wind relieving pose. Release your arms and extend your legs up to the sky. And again, let's bring a little fluid, life into our feet. Open the toes. And here I just want you to feel your spine rooted into the mat. Engage your core as you do. And on an exhale, let your legs come down very slowly. See if you can hold them just above the floor. And then inhale them back up. And then let them come down. And now we're going to bring the right knee towards us, and we're going to extend the left leg along the floor. We're going to press through the left heel. Breathe here, a couple of deep breaths. On an inhale, lift the left leg up toward the sky, pressing through the heel, holding here. Bend the knee towards the chest and then extend it along the floor, not touching the floor, hovering over the floor. And on your next inhale, lift up again. Bend the knee. Lower it, straighten it along the floor. Inhale up. Now we're going to reverse this. As you exhale, lower the leg. Again, don't bring it all the way down. Press through the heel. It's just going to hover above the floor. Bend the knee toward the body. Inhale up. Exhale down. Hover for a breath. Bend the knee toward. We'll do one more. Inhale. Exhale as you lower. Hold. And then bend that knee into the chest. Hug both knees again, back and forth. And now hug the left knee towards you. Extend the right arm out, the palm down. Reach up that right foot and then lower it down as you exhale. Let it hover on the floor, just above the floor. Bend the knee. Inhale up, exhale down. Bend the knee. Inhale up, exhale down. And then we're going to reverse. Inhale up, exhale, bend the knee, extend. Hover at the floor, press through the heel. Inhale up, exhale, bend the knee. Extend along the floor, not touching the floor, just hovering. And last one, bend the knee. Extend it along the floor, hold it. Inhale it up. Now both knees come in and we rock back and forth again. And then roll yourself out of it and come onto your hands and knees. Into table, Bar Manasana. Find the table that works for your body. Knees under the hips, wrists may be under the shoulders or stepped forward. You may also prefer to use fists with your thumbs supporting your hands. Find what works for you. And then we're going to inhale into our cow, lifting our tailbone. Shoulder blades glide back. Our chin may lift, or if your neck is sensitive, you may keep your gaze toward the top of your mat. And then move into cat on the exhale, pressing the hands away, maybe pressing the shins into the mat, dropping the head, engaging the core. And then flow back and forth. From cow to cat and back again. And then releasing that. We're going to bring a little twist into the practice here with our thread the needle pose. So go gentle here, don't overstretch. So we're going to shift our weight to our right hand a little bit. We're going to lift our left arm up as high as we can. We're going to bend the elbow. We're going to thread this arm under our body, palm up. And then we're going to settle down onto the shoulder first, the head last. And maybe you remain here. Just make sure that you haven't extended too far here. Make any adjustments if you feel strain. It's really easy for me to overdo in this pose, so I want you to be careful too. Now you can add more to this pose. You can extend your right arm up. You can bend your right elbow, and you can turn this into a bind. Or again, just keep the arm up or down. 2 more breaths. And as you come up, use your right hand for support and come back to table. And maybe there's a little bit of circling to the hips. Maybe you make a couple C shapes, just looking over your shoulders. Maybe even a couple of cats and cows thrown in. And then we'll do the other side. So we're going to shift our weight just slightly to the left hand. We're going to extend the right arm up, opening up the chest. We thread our right arm under the body, and then we settle first on our shoulder. We make sure we haven't overstretched. Our right palm is up, and then our head comes down. And again, sometimes I find I have to pull back a little bit. I can overstretch easily. So just make sure there's no strain to the shoulder. You can stay here, or you can extend the left arm up. Or you can bend the left elbow, the palm facing away from the body, bringing in a bind. And again, that may not be right for you. It may create strain. We don't want strain. We just want a nice stretch. 2 more breaths. And then release. Press your left hand into the mat. Come back to your table. Curl your toes under and come into down dog. First down dog. So let's walk our little dog here. Settle in. Maybe your heels are up off the floor, and that's okay. Or maybe they settle in open enough to settle down to the mat. Either way is okay. And then focus on the different elements of the pose, pressing your whole hands into the mat, pressing the roots of your first fingers, pressing through the crown, lifting your tailbone. Hold here for a few breaths. And then walk your hands and feet together, coming into Uttanasana. Now you can stay here in Uttanasana, the full expression, or if you have glaucoma or any eye issues, I want you to come up to half forward fold and hold this here instead. Your knees may be soft. Most people need their knees to be soft, but some people can extend their knees and it's okay. Know your body. We never want to feel this stretch up here where our sits bones connect, where the muscles of the buttocks and the hamstrings connect. We want to feel it in the heart of the hamstring. You may feel it a little in your calf too. That's okay. Slightly bend your knees, reverse swan dive, come on up. Palms come together and they settle at your heart. And here, contemplate and really feel your body, your response on all levels to the movement so far. And then release. Shake the hands out. Make the wardrobe adjustments, which are necessary once we've come up off the floor. Come to mountain pose. And begin to shift your weight around to all four corners of both feet. Feel your heels. Feel your toes. And then come back to your center. Now let your weight shift just slightly back to where your toes come up just a millimeter. And then shift your weight just slightly forward, where your heels may come up very, very gradually, very slowly. And then come back. Press your heels down and towards each other. And feel your thighs move towards each other as your buttocks tucks. Lift your chest points. Allow your shoulder blades to glide down your back and press up through the crown of your head. Pull your belly in. Now we're going to move into a little series with some chair pose and balancing on the balls of our feet, as well as a half forward fold. So on your next inhale, shift the weight again, raise your arms, come up on the balls of the feet to balance. Find a point in front of you to gaze upon. You may come down like I just did. That's okay, just come back up. Feel all 10 toes, reach with your fingers. Next exhale, we lower our heels, and then we try to find that awkward chair that someone has placed just too far away. Our weight shifts a little back. So our toes, again, just like that same sensation of shifting in our mountain pose, we're getting the same effect here. And the tailbone is reaching, not lifting, but reaching and stretching. On your next inhale, straighten your legs. And now we're going to hinge from the hips, and we're going to fold forward. We're going to come to that half forward fold and bring our hands to our shins. Gaze toward the floor, and we're going to press our shoulder blades towards our waist. Take some deep breaths. And then we're going to reverse swan dive, Padahastasana. Swoop our arms back up. And our next inhale, we come up on the balls of the feet. Reaching, focusing on that point, eye level, maybe above, to help us with our balance. Tune into the breath, pull the belly in. Lower the heels, bend the knees, and come back to Utkatasana, our chair pose. And again, straighten the legs. Hinge from the hips, fold forward, reach a little bit with the fingers, and bring them now, again, to your shins. Press the shoulder blades, gaze toward the floor. Bend the knees, Padahastasana. Come back up. Palms together, they rest at your heart. Pause for a moment. And release. So let's do a nice wide-legged forward fold also. And so just step your feet nice and wide. Here your toes are forward. They may even be a little in. That may feel good to you. And then we're going to interlace. Let me try it this way. And we're going to interlace our fingers behind us and palms up. Now another is the traditional yoga mudra. The mudra of yoga is to have the palms together. If you have really open shoulders and you've been practicing a lot, that might work for you. Lift your heart, hinge from your hips, and come on down. Keep your hands pressing up toward the sky. Your knees may be soft here. Again, notice sensations, right? If you've got your knees locked and you're feeling strain or pain, soften the knees. And then lower your hands and come back up. Release your arms and just let them rest. And now we're going to turn to the right. So we're going to take our right toes, point them toward the side of the room, wherever that is for you. Your left toes, your heel hooks in behind you. Left toes point either to a corner or wherever it's really comfortable with your toes and knees in alignment. And now we're just going to hinge forward. And again, we don't want to hyperextend our right knee. So there should be a micro bend here. Be very aware of sensations as you're coming down. And bring your hands to the mat. And then bend your right knee and move yourself into your lunge. Press through your left heel. Maybe your hands, maybe you customarily use blocks here. You can use blocks or fists like I do. Press the shoulder blades back. Press through the crown of the head. Watch your right knee and make sure that it's aligned over your right ankle. Lower your left knee, flatten your left foot. Come up, hands first to the knee. Once you feel steady, raise your arms up into supported warrior. Then come down, bring the hands, one on each side of the foot. Curl the toe again, and then walk through the center, feet following the motion. So now we're going to move into a lunge here. Left toes forward, right toes pointing toward a corner or whatever feels right for your toes and knees. Bend your left knee, settle your right foot, press through your right heel, press through your shoulder blades, press up through the crown of your head, and watching your knee. Holding Anjaneyasana. And then lowering your right knee, flattening your foot, coming up, hands first to your knee. And when you feel steady, arms up. And now we bring our hands down. And we bring our knee under our body. And we come in to table. We're going to do a little puppy pose here. So what we're going to do is we're going to step forward, our hands Keep stepping forward until we can rest our chin or forehead on the mat. Some folks use a block here for support or a blanket. Keep your hips over your knees. Let yourself release. I like to bring prayer hands into this shape. See if that works for you. If it doesn't, then have your arms spaced and comfortable. 2 more breaths. And then walk yourself back out. Now we're going to do frog. So frog is a really intense groin opener. So move into child's pose or back up into table if it gets too intense for you. So again, we're going to come down onto our forearms and we're going to spread our legs wide and we're going to have our ankles in line with our knees, right? Toes pointing away. And then we settle back into frog. So you can see that it's very, very intense. You can even come all the way down. And again, if it's not working for you, lift yourself up, come back to table, rest in child's pose. But maybe this feels really good and releasing and you can, it's one of those passive stretches where once you've got your hips glided back in line with your knees, then you can practice surrender here in this frog. Or again, not working for you, then do an extended child's pose or a table, whatever's working for your body. Because like I said, this may not work for everyone's body. Two more breaths. If you've been sitting a lot, this may feel really good, a nice release. You can see I'm not fully into the pose. That's okay. And now I'm going to glide myself forward and line my body up. I'm going to stretch myself long. And then I'm going to pull my hands, palms down along the floor until my elbows, may have a wardrobe adjustment necessary here, elbows under the shoulders, chin level with the floor, or gaze toward the top of the mat in Sphinx. A nice counter pose. And then release. Bring yourself down. Forehead on the backs of the hands. Bend the knees. And windshield wiper your legs a little bit. And then let your legs free. Extend your arms down to the mat, to a T, or to the floor. Palms down. Place your right temple down. And then let your body completely release and let go. And then lift your head and put your other temple down. Again, here, just with your exhales, just kind of relax and let go of wherever tension's gathering up. Wherever the body wants to try to lift up, encourage it to relax the shoulders. Maybe a release in the lower back. And then press up and come onto your back. A few more stretches here. The sun's going down. It's getting a little darker in here. Sorry about that. And now we're going to hug our knees to our chest. We're going to rock back and forth. Release your arms. And then drop your knees to the right in a supine stretch. You guys stay there. I'm going to try turning on a light here to see how that improves things. Oh yes, much better. Much better. Didn't realize it was going to get so dark on me. And here we just practice that cooling down part where we let our mind settle and just allow our thoughts to flow and notice and watch. Because usually there's a shift in our practice. It helps our mind to calm down, give us a little more space between our thoughts, because we have created a stronger connection, an understanding of our physical body, linking us from the physical and the mental through our breathing. In our culture, we tend to live a lot in our thoughts and our minds and our logic and reason. And we disregard signals coming from our body. We might even disregard signals and information coming from the rest of the world. So when we connect with our physicality and we embrace it with compassion, our mind settles down. This is yoga. We may think it's poses, but it's really just simply calming our mind. Absolutely strengthens the body, but it strengthens our mind too. Let's release and guide our knees through the center and drop them to the other side. Enjoying the benefits of twisting gently like this, supported. And just go inward and take a temperature check. Watch the flow of your thoughts. Feel the sensations in your body. These twists also have an effect on releasing tension in the spine. The spine is the highway of our nervous system. That's why yoga is so effective. We strengthen, we stretch, we have a healthy spine. We have a healthier body and mind. Now release, come back to the center. Hug those knees, rock them back and forth. We're going to end our practice before our Savasana with holding dead bug. So we're going to hold dead bug for a couple of minutes. Extend your arms out and your legs up. Try to have the soles of the feet toward the ceiling, and try to have ankle, knee, and hip aligned. Gaze up. You can even engage your core here by pressing the lower mid back into the mat, and you'll feel that engagement if you want to make this vigorous. Or you can simply let go. Enjoy these next few moments, holding this inversion. Inversions are beneficial because they lead blood and get your circulation activated. And so it makes for a stronger heart and a better circulation. Here in this inversion, it's a safe inversion, appropriate for almost anyone. So you don't have to do a headstand or a handstand or even a shoulder stand to get the benefits of an inversion. You can do dead bug. You can also, this is sort of like legs up the wall. Right? When you release, do so really slowly. And either come into corpse pose or come into reclined bound angle pose with the soles of the feet together, the knees bent. Relax. Feel wherever your body releases after the holding. Maybe your core releases or your hips release or your shoulders. Straighten your legs. Reach your arms along the floor above you and press through your heels and reach with your fingers, tensing everything that you can. And on an exhale, let everything release. And then again, once more, inhale, press through the heels, reach with the fingers, engage your core, tighten everything. And with a big exhale, let go. And then slowly move yourself into Savasana, corpse pose, where you're lying on your back, your legs a comfortable distance apart, and the legs relax and the feet flop out, and the arms are a little away from the body, palms up if that's okay with you. You can cover yourself with a blanket or use an eye pillow. Settle in to your Savasana. I'm going to come out, but I want you to stay in. And I want to offer you the next few moments in silent contemplation. I want you to choose whether you focus on something or whether you just let your mind be free. This is your time. Let yourself begin to return from this deep relaxation, Savasana. Wiggling your toes and stretching your fingers, maybe moving your head. Maybe you center yourself on your breathing again, your natural flow, that thread of life through each inhale and each exhale. Always connected, always flowing, always there for you. Begin to admit outside sounds again into your awareness. Allowing your ears to open up to those sounds and maybe even reach out and away for sounds. And maybe you roll over onto one side into the original yoga pose, the fetal position. When you're ready, come all the way back to where we began in a seated asana that works for you. Asana actually means seat. All yoga was practiced so that we could sit and meditate without feeling and worrying about the body. When you get back here, bring your hands to your heart, and we'll close this practice that we've shared together with the sound of 3 ohms. Om, the hymn of the universe, a healing vibration. Take a deep breath in. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you prosper, and may you be free. Namaste. I'll see you soon.